years ago, in 1976, Aero-Space buffs launched a new group. I'd like to welcome to the show Steve Parsons and Joe Lohan of the Aero-Space Club. Steve, please tell us a little bit about the club. What's it all about?
Well, I'll just read the purposes to you because it covers such a broad range.
Welcome.
The club is to promote sociability and fellowship between any of the Laguna Woods Village's residents who have time to directly participate in or directly contribute to any phase, segment, or supporting element of aviation and space activities or have an interest in the same. So we have people from all walks of life in there. People say, well, you must have a lot of pilots.
Right.
I'll let Joe answer how many we have, but we do have people from different walks of life, such as engineers, military, scientists, machinists, logistics people, and just plain people that are interested. Some people come because they like the people in the club.
Yeah. Well, it draws a very diverse crowd, doesn't it?
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It does.
Well, it's very interesting. So many people love flying.
Yeah.
You want to expand on that, Joe?
Actually, right now we have 70 people in the club.
70.
It comes up and goes down, as you can imagine, around here in this community. And only about 10% are pilots at the moment. One of our pilots who has now left the area because of health reasons. He was actually a test pilot for the Air Force and military, and did some amazing airplanes that he worked on. So,
Wow.
and then we have a one woman, Beverly, last name Beverly. And she's 95 years old. She still flies, not
Is that right?
by herself, but with family members and things like that.
I was going to ask, do you still have remaining pilots in the club?
Oh yes.
Yes.
I have a license, but I haven't flown in years.
Okay.
Just one thing after another.
Okay.
But there are pilots in the club.
That's amazing. How do you get your announcements out to attract new members to your club?
Well, we send out emails. We have flyers at the different clubs. We also advertise in the Globe primarily,
Okay.
and then basically word of mouth.
Okay, so you're averaging 70, but are you hoping to increase that number?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right. And so I know that you guys do luncheons with presentations. Seems like you've had a lot of fun presentations in the past. Why don't you tell us about that for some people that are considering joining your club?
Okay.
Sounds like these luncheons are great.
Oh yeah, they are fantastic. Some past meetings that we've had, such as the SR-71 Blackbird. People will recognize that from several years ago, but it's still flying. Charlene Reynolds talked about the John Wayne Airport and how things are changing out there.
Okay.
And
That's
more flights coming in.
important information to keep up with.
We've had the A4 Skyhawk aircraft, and Jonna Doolittle Hopes talked about her family in aviation. She's a granddaughter of Jimmy Doolittle, so she's been here a few times. We've had things locally from like Pat Macha, talked about aircraft wrecks in LA County.
Oh, wow.
And he went out and found them, and they documented them and talked to people who are survivors of the people that probably passed. We've had space things too, such as the U.S. Space Force representatives. And also, a little over a year ago, we had Steve Carman talk about water on the moon.
Water on the moon.
This was the L-Cross system that went up to the moon because they wanted to know what elements were there. They shot a probe into the moon, it kicked up dust. Another element came through and cataloged everything. And he was one of the lead engineers on this whole project.
My
So it was
goodness.
really fascinating.
Wow.
So.
These are interesting topics.
We do have some upcoming ones too.
You
People
do?
might be
I was
interested.
just going to ask, where do you find those speakers?
Different places. We have a lot of aerospace companies around the area, which Joe was part of a few of them. And we have people in the club that come forward because they're specialists. They may be a scientist or a pilot or engineer, something like that. And then some referrals that we have. So there's quite a vast pool of people, especially in this area, we can draw from.
That's great. That's great. So you have some luncheons coming up.
Yeah.
What programs are you going to present on your next one?
Okay, September 27th is our next one, and talking about the Orange County Sheriff and how they use their helicopters.
Oh,
In October, we're going to have Fred Bell, who's the Managing Director of Palm Springs Air Museum. He's going to be talking about the F-117. And in November, it'll be our annual meeting. And we're talking about the Veteran Honor Flights, which a lot of people may not know about. But it's very interesting about how they're taking veterans from different eras, taking them back to Washington, D.C., and it's kind of a celebratory flight that they put them on to take them back, and it's really heartwarming.
I was going to say that sounds really special.
It is. It's really special.
As you say, very heartwarming. So how many people are attending your actual luncheons? I know you talked about 70 members in the group. How many are actually able to make it to your luncheons?
We've been averaging this last year or so about 45,
About
but we've
45.
had some, her 56 was the highest we had in February. I think that was when Jenna
Okay.
did a little like.
And is
lesson.
lunch actually provided for the attendees?
We have a lunch for them. There is a charge.
Okay.
We have a $25 for members and $30 right now for non-members, guests. But if you become a member of the club, then there is the discount.
Okay, okay, all right. Well, gentlemen, I think we, covered so many bases in such a small amount of time. I really encourage members of the community to get involved. I mean, it sounds like there's so many things that they can learn about Aero-Space. So just as a wrap up, the next club meeting is September 27th?
Yes.
Yes. So at 11:45 a.m. Clubhouse number 2.
In the
Yes.
Sequoia room.
Sequoia Ballroom, thank you. And then you touched on the Orange County Sheriff helicopter.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
Well, we just want to invite everybody to come out and be a part of it. Like I said, we have people that have no connection with space or flying or anything like that, but they just like to come out and be part of the fellowship.
Sounds like a great time. I would love to do that.
And welcome anytime.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming, gentlemen. And coming up next is our Monday movie preview, Big Miracle with Drew Barrymore. Stay tuned.